All right, here we go, guys, and a video for the boat nerds in all of us. An overview, including a factory tour of an exciting new catamaran company based in Fort Pierce, Florida, Eastward Boats. And big thanks to the folks at BoatTest.com. You can see some running shots here of the Eastward Horizon 3000. That's the boat we'll be talking about today, and Eastward Boats is the factory tour we'll be going through today. And, here in the U.S., cats have become all the rage in the past 5-6 years, with companies like Freeman, Invincible, Sea Hunter, and many others building really high-end catamaran fishing center consoles. And these boats are not cheap, with prices ranging from $400,000 to $1 million plus for a 47 Freeman. Enter Dave East, and if the name sounds familiar, it's because for years Dave was the boating editor of Florida Sportsman magazine and hosted a very popular YouTube series called Best Boat. And prior to this, Dave was a boat builder. And when an Australian catamaran company named Cat had one of their molds available for sale, Dave bought it and the Horizon 3000 was born. And I mentioned here an Australian mold. The Australians, as far back as the early 70s, were the first to revolutionize the use of catamaran hulls over traditional monohulls. Australian bar crossings can be treacherous, and the Australians were really pioneers in designing cat hulls that could handle this type of rough water. So what makes the Eastward special? And to be very blunt here, one thing, it's price. I priced out the 30 Horizon, and with twin 300s and all the options that I'd want, the total price came in at about $175,000. And if you think about it, you can build two of these 30-foot Horizons for the price of one Freeman 34, and you'll still have $50,000 left over at the end of the day. To put it another way, the Horizon 30 is about the same price as the 25-foot Grady I crawled all over at the Stewart Boat Show, and the Eastward price includes a trailer. Dave is very candid about price being a huge selling point of his boats. And while the boat is overbuilt, and you'll see in the factory tour just how overbuilt it is not finished as nice as some of the brands I mentioned earlier, the Freeman, the Sea Hunter, the Invincible. And again, Dave is very candid about this and explains in this video how he's able to keep the cost down because of that relative commercial look to the boats. Hope you enjoy. And again, this is really a conversation between two boat nerds. It may not be for everyone. And I'll come back after the tour and offer my thoughts about what I thought, including what I own one personally. As always, if you like these videos, hit that like button. And if you're not already a subscriber and you like this type of content, please hit that subscribe button. So we're with Dave East of Eastward Boats. Hello, Dave, and you guys might know him from Florida's Best Boat series.
Yeah, Florida Sportsman, for a long time.
Florida Sportsman, Best Boats. He did that for a long time.
Show you a little bit, some of our cutouts, and give you an idea of how the boat's put together. This particular cutout, you can see the gray paint right here. That is one of our through-hull cutouts right there with a bilge pump.
Sure.
So this part of the boat, and that's solid glass, there's no core.
Yeah.
That's over a 1/2 inch thick right here in the boat.
What about the sponsoons, the running surface?
Yeah, that's what we're getting to next.
So I'm getting ahead of myself, Dave.
No, not at all. If we do a lot of through-hull transducers because our dead rise all the way at the transom is so severe you can't use a typical through-hull transducer. You have to use a 0 degree, which is fine because we've got that 8-inch running surface up the middle. This is straight through the bottom of the boat.
Wow.
And this is, you can see where the glass is starting to wrap up on where the transom comes in. So this is where we drill down for a through-hull transducer in the bottom.
So that's literally...
That's all glass as well.
And that's what, a 1/2 inch? Or?
That's solid. That's almost 5/8.
5/8?
Yeah, and it's solid. All of our core is Coosa. This is our transom, where we cut through the transom, bring our rigging up into our Armstrong bracket. So you can get an idea. This is the inside of the bilge. This is our transom core, and this is the outside of the hull, and there where the shiny part is. So that's what our transoms look like.
So you're going to have this boat for a long time without worrying about...
it'll outlast you and I. Oh yeah. And I don't know how to build the boat any stronger. We first came up with a lamination schedule that we liked. We deal with this company called Composites One, and they're the 800-pound gorilla in the industry. They sell to us, Maverick, Pursuit. I mean, all of us in this little area. They have free engineering, and so I got with their engineers and I gave them my lamination schedule, which was a combination of 1708 and 3610. They came back and they said, it's good, but look at this one, it's better. And theirs was solid 4108 all the way through. And they showed me all their engineering behind it. It was stiffer, it was stronger, it was just better. So we ran with what
And
they
why
had.
don't more boat companies use this? Is it price?
It's expensive.
Yeah.
4108 is
So
expensive.
what's your secret? Because you sent me a pricing sheet on the 30 Horizon, which we're going to hopefully look at. And
Right.
I mean, compared to some of your competitors, you blow them out of the water.
The main thing is we're not an interliner. So you're going to give up some fit and finish. An interliner boat like World Cat, Freeman, they're gorgeous. They're beautiful. But when you have an interliner, in a lot of cases, the interliner weighs more than the hull. And because you've got the interliner, you've got the hatches, you've got the molded buckets, you've got all these other parts, and a lot of the boats are three-piece where you have a interliner, which is the deck, and then you have another ring cap
on top. Yep.
So all that extra weight is material.
So for all intents and purposes, would it be fair to almost describe your boat as a one-piece boat?
It is.
It is a one-piece.
Because even once you'll see when we go out in the plant, even once our deck cap goes on, we glass the deck cap.
So it becomes almost part of the.
Nothing in our boat is screws.
Right.
Nothing.
Okay.
Not even our console. We glass the console down. Too many
But because
boats,
you put the cap in, you still get that three-piece feeling where you can.
Right. Yeah, we still get that. But it gives us some latitude. If you look at all the different boats we've built, we've never built two the same, and I don't think we ever will.
Yeah, so you have a traditional center console here. You have this looks like an Alaska Pilot House. I followed that thread on the, I think I followed all these threads on the Hull Truth. A more traditional Northeast Pilot House. There's again a different pilot house, a bigger cabin, but again it has almost that Alaska houseboat feel. There's that's your plug boat, right? Or is that?
No, that's the actual customer's boat that he was going to do his own top and his own motors, so it was just a hull.
Yeah, and then you have a traditional center console, which if I were building a boat, I'd be interested in.
Right.
You know, something like that. There's another example of that. Different colors, but yeah, and that's the beauty of working with a semi-custom builder.
It gives us a lot of latitude. We're not hemmed in by, this is how it's molded and take it or leave it. That's not us at all.
Right.
We sit down with every customer. We lay out what they want. We trade drawings back and forth a lot until we finally get the design of what exactly they want. And once we lock into that drawing, then that's how we build their boat. A lot of times too, we'll loft it. We'll get the boat all built and mocked up, and we stop. And then get the customer to come one more time before we actually glass the pieces. That way, if you want to make some slight adjustments, move this 3 inches, make this box bigger, smaller, whatever, then we can. We have a lot more latitude than a molded interliner boat.
Yeah.
You're going to give up some fit and finish. We're not the prettiest boat on the water on our interior, but we don't claim to be. We build a Hummer. We don't build a Lamborghini.
Right.
If you want an H1 Hummer, that's our boat. Yeah. So, okay, let's walk out in the plant.
Awesome.
Right. This is what 4108 is. And the difference with 4108, if you look on our website, we got a lot of information. A 3610 and a 1708 takes its load either plus or minus 45 or 090. And that's why you got to use a combination and sandwich them together. 4108 takes a load 360 degrees.
Okay.
So we can stay with this one cloth that's a lot heavier and stay with this one schedule all the way. And some of the areas have 3 layers, some have 5. The very bottom of our boat and the sidewalls, where the edge of the tunnel and the sidewalls, where all the stress is, the layers overlap. So if you've got 3 layers here and 3 layers here, and our stress points, we actually end up with 6 layers because everything overlaps.
Right. It's almost like when you were in the pool and you would cross your arms and throw somebody off instead of trying to.
Exactly. Yeah. Just builds us a lot.
Yeah. And this is all, you don't chopper gun, right? This is all hand laid?
No, we have guns for spraying our resin, so we get a consistent resin catalyst ratio.
And resin meaning like the glue that's gonna lock this in.
Yeah.
But this is all hand laid.
Everything's hand laid. Yeah. This is just our bale cloth, 1.5 ounces. That's our core mat that uses a print barrier on the side. But the bulk of the boat is this 4108. All right, so let's walk. Back here, we've got some stuff under construction. This is one that's in our finishing department. This will here again will give you an idea of what our capabilities are. If you want to crawl up inside this boat.
Yeah. Wow. Huh. This is sick. And not sure if you can tell, but this is like a dance floor here. It's okay to step inside here?
Yeah.
Wow. And this is an interesting design that this customer chose.
It's
this is the one. Is there a build call?
I don't think he's doing a build.
All right, somebody else did this where they.
That's the one that's in rigging right now.
Okay.
That's an express. The customer that we're building this boat for saw the one in rigging and liked it, but a little bit different. A little, you changed up a few things. Smaller sidewalls. The one in rigging, the console's to the side. He wanted a center console. Down in the cabin, both boats have the deck. So we ended up with a queen size berth.
Oh wow. Man, this is huge down here. Wow. Wow, yeah, this extends another 10 feet or so out?
Yes. And then all these are insulated boxes. So you can use them for storage, but with the inch and a half Coosa, any one of these can be a cooler.
Right.
Or a fish box, or just storage.
And I saw somewhere that the walkthrough is now a standard feature?
It is standard along with the live wells.
The 2 live wells.
Yeah.
So you can't get out of these?
We can not put them. With some boats, we don't put the bucket. We put a cutting board here, and we put tackle stations here.
Yeah.
Built-in tackle drawers and stuff. Just depending on what the customer wants.
And there's going to be a bracket out here where the engines will sit.
Right.
All your boats are bracketed boats.
Yeah, we use Armstrong brackets on everything.
Yeah.
It enhances the performance of the boat. Plus.
And while you're talking, Dave, they'll hear you. Keep going.
No, go ahead.
Just show a couple more boats in the build process here.
You can see this boat here. This is a 24.
Oh, this is the new model with the Seaward, or I forgot what it's called.
Seaward.
Seaward, okay.
And what we're doing here is, the boat was almost done, and then the customer decided, you know what, I want a fish box in the front. So now we're glassing an additional box in the front, and that'll be an insulated fish box. The console will move back up into place.
I mean, this is a massive boat. I never would have guessed 24. Just again with the catamaran hulls, and we didn't say it already. This is a catamaran hull. It's just I know it's not wide in terms of some catamaran brands. It's 9.3, 9.4.
9.3 wide, but with our bracket, our 30-foot boat, to be fair, you'd have to compare us to like a 35 or 36-foot center console, because we have 30 feet of fiberglass, and then we add the bracket. For everybody else, their bracket is integral. Even with our 24, this boat measures almost 27 feet by the time you're done. So.
Listen, the thing that I never get is how Dusky now includes the bracket in their measurements. So you get they're 27. Yeah, you could. You could.
The Coast Guard they give you a lot of leeway. They let you go with. I'd rather say 24, and we've got the biggest doggone 24-foot boat on the market.
Yeah.
And the same with our 30. If you compare this to a 30-foot center console, we can work.
Yeah, I mean, I have a 32 CV, and again, part of it is because it doesn't V up in the front, so you get a lot more square footage.
Right.
But yeah, this is huge. This is huge.
Over here, because the timing is good, because you can see this. This is
this is the core. Wow.
That we use. It's 20-pound density. It will not strip. When you run a screw in there, if you don't adjust the chuck on the drill, when the screw bottoms out, it wrings the head of the screw off. The stuff is amazing. This is a deck cap that we just started. It's in the mold.
Yeah, so this is the last piece that goes right on top. So in a crazy way, and I know it's not screwed in, but this is almost like a 2-piece hull that acts like a 3-piece hull, even though I know we said it's a 1-piece hull.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't even know what I just said, Dave.
No, but it makes a lot of sense. And what most builders do, we through bolt our rub rail only because we can get to the backside of it. A lot of builders put the cap on, they through bolt the rub rail and the cap at the same time and call it done. Not us. We glass ours on and then through bolt. But here you get this is a perfect time to see this boat. This is a 30 in the mold. You can see the 1.5-inch Coosa that's in the floor. This is the back panel. They've already got the bilge hatches built into it. That's the bonding putty they're putting on top of the tunnel. And then this piece will get dropped down on here. Once all the floor panels are in, then everything gets glassed together. Glass goes from that side wall all the way across and out the other side wall. So when the hull comes out of the mold, it's one solid.
And how long does this process take till they literally pull it out? You take these giant chains and you're going to lift this out of the mold,
which is 10 days.
About 10 days?
Yeah, she'll be in the mold for about 10 days.
Okay.
Depending on the complexity. Sometimes a little longer if we do it like this boat only has 2 boxes. If we do 4 in-deck boxes or something kind of funky in the front, maybe a little longer, but average about 10 days in the boat.
Cool.
This is similar to the other Express that we saw, but
I mean, this shows
sidewall.
you how massive this boat is. I mean, maybe go next to it, Dave, just to give it some perspective and
it's big. I mean, I'm not real tall, but I mean, still, the boat is big.
Yeah, and I mean, this is a 30-foot boat. It's not
Right.
It's impressive. And what power is she going with?
300s, just like it's on the demo boat.
Okay. And here is an Express getting rigged. Nice hardtop too, huh? And all the hardtops. I know you guys have an awesome coffin box. That's all done in house.
It's all done in house. Yep.
Very nice. Yep. You can see the 4 intakes. This is the VA. I'm curious if you have a finished boat, what you mean by the fit and finish, and here's just finished product with the Verado V8s, 300 V8s. These are naturally aspirated, no superchargers, no, well, turbos. Boats don't really have turbos. I like this trailer too. I was surprised it was Magic Tilt. I had a Magic Tilt also, no issues with it. But that looks pretty.
The steps up the front are the best part of this trailer. Because the boat's so big, without this ladder, I don't know how you'd get in.
Yeah. Yeah, even with the ladder, I don't know how I'm going to get in. I guess like that. Wow. Holy cow.
This is the boat that we had at the Miami Boat Show.
Okay.
And it had Verado, I mean, it had E-Tex on it.
Right.
So after the show, we pulled the E-Tex off and stuck the Verados on.
Yeah, and live
You can
wells.
lift up. It's got friction hinges.
Right. About what, 25?
25 per side, yeah. And
This
then,
is nice too.
Yeah, these fold down out of the way, and then you have another 50-gallon bait well here.
And you could make this a seat if you didn't want multiple
We've done
lines.
several like that, where we build the base and we have the same kind of seats that face backwards. We can put a bench. We can make this a tackle center. You know,
Yeah.
what anybody wants.
Yeah. And I see what you mean now.
Yeah, it's
So you still do get that 3-piece feel.
You do. You definitely.
Like I'm leaning on it, my feet are under, they're not hitting the bottom of the deck. It's an awesome boat. And you can configure any type of hardtop. If you wanted the hardtop a little narrower.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a molded like this, because this comes out of a mold. So if you wanted to change this up, we would have to either build it as a flat panel, or we could do, canvas, obviously,
Right.
do whatever size you wanted.
Yeah, canvas is good.
This is also available like a normal, see the T-top over there? Same hard top, but that's a T-top, and then the one next to it we call a half tower.
Right.
But the molded fiberglass piece on top is the same
The-
between those two boats.
That's the 24, right?
This is the 24 and those are 230s.
Would you do something like that? Or that's too radical?
What, for the 30?
Well, because,
Yeah.
well,
I mean-
actually, no. That would be fine as long as we're in the Northeast. We would want
Yeah.
protection.
Yeah.
But you could just put isinglass up to the top.
We had one up in North Carolina. We have a boat up in North Carolina, and like you see, this one has a coffin box in front. Both these boats have coffin boxes.
Right.
And what we did is we made him an 8-panel isinglass enclosure around the T-top, and basically he has a little pilot house.
Yeah.
And he can run it fully enclosed. He can
Yep.
run, part of them off, part of them on.
Right.
Or,
I had a Everglades pilot 3 boats ago, so
Right.
up in New York, that was awesome in the spring and the fall. I mean, just getting out of the elements and
Yeah,
the
yeah.
cold.
You can see inside our console, you have plenty of room.
Yeah.
There's 4 batteries in there.
Yep. And have you rigged many with trolling motors?
We've done a lot. And I'm shocked how well they work. The first one we did, I didn't think it would hold the boat in the wind and the current, and it does. We use that Rodan, that big 84-inch shaft Rodan, and they work. They absolutely work.
Boo, but I'm joking around. I'm on the guide team for Minn Kota. So
if we could get them in Kota,
yeah, no,
I have customers that would take them in Kota, but we can't get them.
No. They're no, I know. I have friends who have been trying to get them in Kota, and it's impossible.
Yeah, but you know what though? In all fairness, the whole industry is crazy right now.
Yeah.
Parts that used to take us a week to get now take us a month.
Wow. Wow.
And
that's all because of COVID and...
Well, part of it's COVID, part of it is the fact that every manufacturer that because it's a very small industry and everybody knows everybody, and we're really good friends. Scott Deal across the street at Maverick and stuff. Yeah. Everybody's running wide open right now. Everybody is running absolutely.
Well, and the demand is so crazy too. I mean, I was shocked when COVID started. I thought the boat market was gonna go down, and it's the exact opposite.
You know what?
Are these the LeBrock seats?
Yeah, they're LeBrocs. And then we also have, see, those are the Taco Bocas.
Okay.
That's our standard seat. If you took the sticker off,
you wouldn't know.
You couldn't tell the Taco Boca from the LeBrock. You pay a lot of money for this little sticker in the back that says LeBrock, but they do build a beautiful seat. I mean, you know, they do. It's a LeBrock.
Yeah. Oh, this is nice. And I know we looked at the performance numbers, but it's about a 53, 54 mile an hour boat with the Verado V8s. And a 4,000 cruise is 35, 36 at 1.8, I think I read.
Yep.
Which is ridiculous numbers. And again, I guess you made the point. You're saving a lot of weight with the...
We're saving weight, but then two Catamarans are just way more efficient. What 30-foot boat, or if you look at the overall measurement, call this a 35-foot boat. What 35-foot boat have you ever been on that'll plane off on 1/300 and run in the mid-20s?
Yeah, no boat. I've tried to plane mine off. I have my 32 CB with a single 350. Not even a chance.
Not gonna happen.
No. And are these foldable so that you can have them down?
Yeah,
and
the legs fold under, and then the seat drops down.
And it drops down. Well, that's pretty cool. Have you ever thought about doing? I guess this is fine. Yeah.
We can. There's only two limiting factors to what we build: imagination and a checkbook.
Yeah.
That's your only limiting factors. Other than that, whatever you come up with, we'll sit down and try and make it happen.
Yeah, yeah. And you can add as many rod holders up the side as you like.
Well, look at this one.
I like this too. These.
See up this gunnel?
Oh yeah. Yeah. All right, awesome. All right, well, hey, Dave, I appreciate the tour, man.
Oh, no problem. I'm glad you came.
Yeah. All right, guys.
All right, I warned you guys that would be a conversation between two boat nerds. Hopefully nobody fell asleep watching that. And to answer the question I posed at the beginning of the video, would I own one? The answer is a emphatic, absolute yes. In fact, before I left Dave a deposit on a new build. Tentative build start date, January 2022. So I'll be running my CV hopefully for one last season and then put it up for sale. And for the 2022 charter season, I'll be in one of these beautiful Horizons. Let me know what you think of the boat, what you think of the price point. I think it's fantastic. I've gone on record as saying that. And, you know, overbuilt, but yes, commercially finished. You're not going to get the bells and whistles of a Freeman, an Invincible, a Sea Hunter, but you absolutely, in the realm of boating in 2021, it's definitely an affordable boat. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that like button. And if you're not already a subscriber and you like this type of content, please hit that subscribe button.